Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Someone's joining us. Hold on. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning to do our class, our weekly class. We have class, remember, twice a week, Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Central Time and Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Time. So I appreciate you waking up this morning and joining us. We're going to talk about sleep today. So that's a question we'll start with. Who wants to sleep like a baby? You remember that commercial a while ago, sleeping like a baby on a superior waterbed? I remember that because that was my dream in life was to have a waterbed. And when I got it, I hated it. so, so let's get started talking about sleep. If it will advance for me. Come on, thank you. So I have an agenda. And so, as you know, we always consider our classes to be more like a party because we like to be interactive and have fun. So, but I also like to give you an agenda so you know what we'll be talking about today. We'll do a little bit of welcome, intro, a little bit of game time. We're going to talk about why do we even care about getting proper sleep? What are some oils? What are essential oils? How to use them? Actually, what are some oils and things we can use to help support better sleep? And there's a fast action bonus, and I always give away something at the end of the class. So let's get started. I should go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Joy Durham. I'm a silver wellness advocate with doTERRA Essential Oils. I absolutely love what I do. I love sharing oils with people and helping them learn how to use them properly and just helping them to get on with their wellness journey and to just have a better non-toxic way to help address issues they may have in their life. But I also like to have a little bit of an icebreaker to wake everybody up, whether it's the evening class, people are tired, or the morning class, people may be tired. And so one thing I wanted to see, get a gauge on is how many hours of sleep do you actually get? So you can share, you can shout it out, or you can type it in the chat. We use the chat a lot. But are you more like the guy on the left when you wake up because you're not getting enough sleep or proper sleep? Or the one on the right who sleeps like a baby and wakes up fine and refreshed? I go ahead and tell us how many hours of sleep that you are getting. And if you'd like to get more, you can put that in there too. I personally need about 5 hours of sleep and I'm good to go. If I sleep more than 5 or 6 hours, I wake up and I'm like, I can't go back to sleep. So I get up and start doing stuff. My mom said I've been that way my whole life. So I don't know if I'm just weird, but
Yeah, you are.
shush.
I I need a minimum of 6, preferably 7. 8 is like too many. Nichelle says 7 to 8, and she sleeps like a baby.
Yay.
Dee Dee says 6 is not enough. Yes, it is. 6.5, 7.
Yeah, five. She's talking about me, 5 or 6. So actually, what you're supposed to be getting, newborns are supposed to get up to 17 hours, and these are averages. Children should get between 10 and 12 hours.
Tell your goddaughter.
Teenagers should get between 8 to 10 hours. Adults should get 7 to 9 hours, and elderly people should get about 6 to 7 hours. Huh. I guess I've been elderly my life. Let's move on. Okay, so we always like to start out and let you know what are essential oils. So we're all on the same page. I think everybody on here has a clear idea of what oils are. So I'll go through this quickly just in case for people that may be watching the video may not know. So I always refer to essential oils as my plant medicine. The official title or definition is that they're a natural, highly concentrated compounds found in different parts of the plant. So it could be in the root, the bark, the seeds, the flowers, or other parts of the plant, even the sap. So my favorite oils are going to be the ones that are going to be in the bark and the sap and the roots, because I'm definitely a tree hugger, a tree girl. The reason why I love essential oils and I use them is that they're safer, more effective, and less expensive than traditional pharmaceutical medications. And what we have pictured here, that arrow's pointing to, it's showing you magnification of a peppermint leaf, and it's showing the essential oil that is in the leaf. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's awesome because it's purple. It looks Really cute. Who's used peppermint? You know how effective and how strong peppermint is? Just to see what it actually looks like before we extract it and distill it's kind of cool. But really, why are they so effective? Why are they so effective? Is because they're so complex. So one drop of essential oils is 40 million trillion molecules. And I'm going to keep saying this number until everybody in the world knows that one drop of essential oils is 40 million trillion molecules in it. And that's why it's so effective, because it has so many molecules that it can cover every cell in our body about 40,000 times. So lots of people, when they use an oil, they are going to get a reaction or a response or have an experience with it almost immediately, definitely within about 10 minutes, because it has by that time traveled throughout your whole body, and it is basically looking to see, you know, what it can help your body with. So on Wednesday night, we had fun. Who was on Wednesday's class? Tawana, I think Dee Dee was too. So we did something different, completely different, because it was my birthday and I just wanted to have fun, but we still had to learn about oils because it was a class night. So we played Who Wants to Be an Oilionaire, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And so that was hilarious. Did y'all have fun?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring in some of the questions we did that night. One of the things is that one of the questions they had was essential oils are, and then so which one's the correct answer on here? So I read them. Essential oils are natural, non-toxic compounds found in roots, bark, seeds, flowers, other parts of the plant, are a form of plant medicine, or all of the above. Amazing, look at that. What's the answer? You can type it in the chat, or you can say it.
D.
D. They're all the above. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome sauce.
Yay.
So one drop of oil has 40 million trillion molecules, A, or B, sparkles in sunshine, or C, magical unicorn farts and trolls hair. JoJo wrote that one, guys, or none of the above.
As the kids say, hey.
Hey, they have 40 million trillion molecules in them. That's awesome. That's a lot. I've never seen that number before. But sometimes people are like, oh, Joy, I have oils. I got them from the grocery store. I'm like, girlfriend, that's not the same thing. So one thing that I try to include and impress upon people is why I specifically use doTERRA essential oils. And one of the things is that they pursue what is pure. So in every endeavor that they have, whether it is creating the oils, whether it's their interactions with farmers, whether it's taking care of their wellness advocates, they're always looking to bring the purest form to that experience. And so one thing that we just recently had a leadership, and David Sterling is one of the founding executives. One of the quotes that he had that stuck with me is that doTERRA is in the empowerment business, and the essential oils are a perfect vehicle. Everything we do is designed to empower someone. So, and I realized that really early on when I started with oils, was that at the beginning of the process where the farmers are using the oil, they're getting the oils, together, doTERRA takes care of them and empowers them to have better lives. And even all the way to the end of the process where, wellness advocates help people use the oils and to empower themselves to take control of their health. It's all about empowerment. And I absolutely love that. And so the other reasons, doTERRA oils have no side effects. They're 100% safe and natural, and they act quickly upon the body. All these things are reasons why I love oils, and I specifically love doTERRA oils because I can trust them, and I know that they've been tested. So this is one of the questions we asked on Wednesday. I said, true or false? Is doTERRA is the largest essential oil company? And so A was, yeah, it's the largest in the world, or B, false, C maybe, or D, I don't know. And most people may not know this one. Y'all are on Wednesday, y'all know. A. Yes. doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world, which is pretty amazing for a company to be that large and still be that dedicated to doing what's right.
Yep.
Cool.
So let's talk about 3 ways to use oils, or excuse me, my allergies kicking in. 3 ways to use oils. I know y'all know what they are, so you can stay on with me. Number 1 is aromatic. What's aromatic?
You smell it, inhale it.
Yep. Inhale it, diffuse it. Absolutely. Topical. Who uses topical?
On your body,
Yep.
on your hands, skin.
Yep. Now Tracy can teach the class. I don't need to be here. And then 3 is internal. What ways do you use it internally?
Ingest it.
Yeah.
Under your tongue.
Yeah, my family's all about just dropping it under your tongue.
Yeah.
I'm not
Under the
alone.
tongue.
I talked to my cousin the other day and she said, oh, I have my oils I put directly under my tongue. I said, you know what, the capsules? She's like, girl, I don't have time for capsules. I just put them under my tongue. So I'm not alone. People making fun of me for putting them under my tongue. My family does that too. So yes, these are 3 ways that you can use them. And I always caution people, I only use doTERRA oils internally, and I make sure they have the supplement facts note on the side, and that lets me know that I can use them internally. And we went in, we asked 3 ways do you use oils. I had topical, aromatic, and spray, scratch and sniff and smell, aromatic, topical, and internal, or none of the above. And obviously we know the answer is C. I tried to trick them with that first one, but they didn't fall for it. So let's switch gears. We're gonna start talking about sleep a little bit, but first we're gonna do a little show and tell. So tell me about a time that you had an awesome night's sleep, and what did you do in order for you to have an awesome night's sleep? Like, did you take a bath, a warm bath, or did you do something that you can think, or when was the last time you had an awesome night's sleep?
Oh, I have them all the time.
What do you do?
I use my lavender. Infused with my lavender.
Yes, that's
Sleep
awesome.
like a baby.
Yep. So anybody else will talk about their awesome?
The
What you
first
did?
time I used Serenity, I diffused it, and I had such a deep, uninterrupted sleep, like little slap on my pillow, and that was just like complete, like no dreams that I can remember. That between that and Copaiba, yeah. But I also know that if I take those, I have to make sure I have at least 7 or 8 hours to be able to sleep. Because if I try to wake up, if I go to bed and take them at midnight, have to wake up at 5 or 6, that's not going to happen because it's just not. So
You're really sleeping.
Yes.
So that's the one side. Tell me about a time when you had an awful night's sleep and what happened. What are some of the things you think that caused that?
I took my LLV too late.
What
I forgot. I couldn't fall asleep. I went to bed and I laid awake going, I want to sleep. I want to sleep.
You were wired. I've done that, Dee Dee, though.
Yeah.
So that's not.
And then I was too lazy to not like my oils are very far, but I was too lazy to even grab those to try and put. Vetiver actually works really good for me. If I put that in my diffuser. But at that point, when you get to that point where you're like, I just want to sleep. You don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. So that's where I was. So I was miserable that night.
It sounds miserable. But it sounds.
Wow.
So it was last night I told you I woke up cranky, but because I went to bed, and my husband, he falls asleep and the TV's on and it just seemed extra loud. And then the light next to me was on, and then I got hot. And so I woke up hot because I have an eczema that I'm working on, trying to control right now. And it's almost there, but if I get hot and start sweating, I'll scratch in my sleep. That's what I've noticed. And so all of this happened at once, and I woke up like, I'm going to sleep. So, and no, I didn't have my oils on. No, I didn't do them. So yeah, so we see the difference here, different ways.
Yeah.
But what we need to think about is why is sleep so important? And so one of the things is that I think what we need to remember that sleep is not an absence from activity. It's just a different type of activity. And so why do we need to sleep? Because you'll feel better. When we sleep, it helps to restore our energy. It fights off illness, fatigue. It helps to strengthen our immune system. And it also helps with the positive mood. They say you'll look better. So if you have too little sleep, it leads to lackluster and wrinkle prone skin. I don't believe that one. So I'm just saying. And then you'll behave better when you get better sleep. Then we're not as grumpy, snappy, less patient, and when we don't have enough sleep. So I've experienced that. You'll think better when you have a lack of sleep. It causes changes the way your brain function in areas of impulse control and decision making. I think about one time when I was in college and doing an all-nighter for accounting because I hated accounting. And so I would just cram for the test right before. And then like after the test, I was just like crazy. Like you can't even think straight. It's like, I need to eat. I think I need to eat. I need breakfast. No, to go, it's just, you can't function when you don't have enough sleep. And also you'll perform better. Yes. Losing sleep erodes concentration and problem-solving ability. Each hour of sleep loss per night is associated with the temporary loss of 1 IQ point. That's why we need sleep. So what are some things that are going to help us in terms of sleeping? And so the natural way that your body helps you deal with sleep is going to be with something called melatonin. But I know a lot of people know about serotonin and melatonin. So I think of them, I remember what they are, is they're like the flip side kind of the same coin. So the serotonin, everyone knows, is kind of like your happy hormone that helps you wake up in the morning. It's actually what helps you wake up in the morning. And it's kind of your upper. It's like your natural upper. Well, melatonin is kind of, they call it the dark hormone, but it's not in like any weird, creepy way, but it's actually activated when you're in a dark room or a dark setting, and your brain starts to create more melatonin, and that's going to help you sleep. It's going to help also to control your body's natural rhythm, and so that's going to help with your sleep time as well. But they need to work together, and so if you're struggling to get sleep, obviously that's going to throw off your body's production of either one. It's also going to throw off other things that are related to you getting proper sleep. Because like we just saw, why we need sleep, some of the things that happen when we sleep, and the one that we talk about a lot, is that when you're asleep, your digestive system continues to work, but it likes to go into more of a sleep mode, but it goes more into a relaxed mode. You don't really want to be digesting food when you go to sleep. So that's why it's really not a good idea to eat right before bed. I know people have said that to me, and I've heard this before, especially people with weight loss and stuff. They say, try not to eat 3 or 4 hours before you go to bed because you want all that food in you to already be digested. Well, that's because for many reasons. For one, your brain starts to sort and process the day's information. You have a lot of hormones that flood your body when you go to sleep because your body's trying to take care of things that happen throughout the day. It's actually trying to do some repair. Instead of trying to digest the food when you're asleep, it's really more work in the lower GI tract, where it's trying to absorb nutrients that it needs. It's trying to repair things that have happened. Your cortisol levels are going to lower when you sleep. Your muscles are going to be paralyzed when you sleep. Your antidiuretic hormone is going to help you not to pee at that time. And then your immune system is going to release a lot of inflammation fighting cytokines. So what happens is that all these things are going on in your body. It's trying to repair, it's trying to fix stuff. And that's why we need the sleep. And so when we don't get the proper amount of sleep, or it's hard for us to get to sleep, it's not only throwing off just us being cranky pants when we wake up, but it's throwing off all these other systems in our body that need to have their downtime to repair things that we've probably done during the day, like eat 5 chocolate chip cookies. Well, your body needs to respond and try to fix things like that. So who has fallen asleep on a full stomach, and then you're like in the middle of the night waking up with either indigestion, acid reflux, just pain in the tummy? I do that all the time. I've done that.
Mhm.
So, and that's because we go to bed, if you go to bed with all that food in your stomach, and your body's intention is not really to digest, but it does it. And so that's what happens, what causes a lot of those issues. So again, like we've talked about in other classes, our body systems are all connected. So it's not just, the The digestive system works completely independent of every other system in the body. It's all working together, and sleep is a big component of working with that as well as other things. So this is one of the questions we asked on Wednesday night. It was, ideally, sleep is a time for the body to digest the burger you ate before bed, make up crazy dreams, absorb and balance, or sleepwalk. Which one do you think sleep is good for? Y'all are quiet. Y'all go to sleep. It is C. Absorb and balance. That's a good time for you to absorb and balance. Now, the other things can happen, but ideally what the body wants to do is absorb and balance out things from the day. Yeah. And it also makes some crazy dreams, but yeah. Melatonin helps the body fall asleep and is activated by, I think this was the favorite question, is activated by curly fries and spicy ketchup, reading electronics in bed, darkness or a dark room, or none of these above. None of these above. Is that right? It is C. Yeah.
Darkness in the room.
Yes, so you need darkness in a dark room to activate your melatonin. Reading electronics, having the TV on, having lights on is not recommended if you really want to. If you're struggling with sleep, you really want to not have those things going on. Turn off your electronics. Don't eat before you're close to going to bed either. Let's see. Let's talk about some oils that are going to help. Here's the G. They're going to help you with sleep support. And some of these we've already mentioned. So I'm going to start with lavender, because lavender is typically the one that when people say they struggle with sleep, that's one of the two options that we tend to recommend. And most people know lavender, even, you know, the big corporations that make all the fake lavender products that are telling people it helps them sleep, they understand the importance of lavender and how much it helps. And that is where we go. So lavender is really good because it helps the body calm down. It helps turn off the fight or flight system or that the body may be in sometimes in terms of inflammation, but it also helps it calm down in terms of it's a natural antihistamine. So lavender is really good at just bringing calm to the body. And so obviously that's going to help you with sleep because you calm down and you get into the sleep mode. One of the movies that I really love and I always recommend people see it is the essential oil movie. And one part that they had in the movie, they had attached the stuff to read brain waves when you use different essential oils. And it just showed how even the brain waves in the body slow down when you use oils like lavender. And then how when you use other oils like peppermint or wild orange, how it wakes up the body and the brain waves intensify and get faster. So lavender is a good starting one, but lavender doesn't necessarily work for everyone, and that's okay. And so when you find that an oil isn't, you know, giving you the results you want, we try something else. And so I always encourage people, if you get a sample or you try an oil and you're like, well, I'd like a little better sleep or a little more sleep, talk to your oil person and they can help you. Okay, then we can try something else or we can add something else. And typically what I go to, especially for people that have a struggle a lot with sleep, and I know that off the bat, I sometimes will go to Serenity first for them. And so Serenity was created as the restful complex or the restful blend. So it's a blend of oils, which it has the lavender and the vetiver in it as well. But it is a system actually. And so the system has the oil, which you see there, plus it's going to have the soft gels. And soft gels, and I have some of my soft gels here, are not that big. And I can tell you that they're easy to take because even my teenagers can take them who pretend like they can't take any pills. So they're not too terribly big and they're soft. And my sister can take them too. And she says they're easy to take. So if you're worried about that, I would say, and you need some help, I would try the system. And so the way that it works, about half an hour before you get ready to go to sleep, you would start to diffuse. We talked about diffusing oils. A lot of people mentioned diffusing oils to help them sleep. You would diffuse the oil in a diffuser. I would spray, you can spray, I know people spray their bed or spray their pillow with it, or they go ahead and put it on, like I'll put it on my wrist sometimes because when I sleep, I can smell it. You can do that. And so you start that about half an hour before, or even if you take a bath or a shower, just put a drop in the shower or in the bath and do that as well. And you also need to take 1 to 2 of the capsules about half an hour before. And so what that's doing is just preparing your body and helping it get ready and calmed and restful and to get prepared to go into that sleep mode. So those 2 are usually the 2 we start with, but there are other options. Other options, we have a vetiver. I know Dee Dee mentioned how much she likes to use vetiver. That's her go-to oil that helps her sleep. And vetiver is, it's a very thick oil. It is a root oil. It comes from the root of the vetiver plant. And so I just think about how thick and how, you know, how something like that moves and it makes you think, oh yeah, I'm calm. And so that's what I think of too with vetiver. Vetiver is also a very effective oil for people that struggle with ADHD. That's one that we recommend for as well. Another oil that's good is going to be Balance oil. Balance is thought of as a mood oil. That's why it was created, but a lot of people use it. It's called Grounding Blend. A lot of people also use it to help them with sleep. And a lot of people like to actually mix it with lavender and it helps them as well. I can't remember, what was the blend, guys? It was what they called it, because it was like a blend that they use instead of one of the prescriptions for sleep.
Balance and lavender, I think. Is it supposed to be like the Xanax of?
Yeah. That's what I thought. So yeah, so people that may be on some kind of prescription medications for sleep, I would welcome you to try using the oils instead to help with that, because the oils are going to provide you something non-toxic that you can use, and they're non-addictive as well. And so this will return to instead. And the last one you see here is going to be Adaptive. Adaptive is also a system. Adaptive is called the Calming Blend, and it's really was developed specifically to help people with anxiousness and anxious feelings. And lots of times, excuse me, stress and anxiety are things that are affecting people's sleep as well. So using this system can also help you get better sleep if that's the cause of some of your sleep issues. And so you see it has a bottle of oil, 15 ml. It has a roller bottle, which actually even before this class, I rolled on some Adaptive because it helps calm me. And I like to use it personally for panic attacks, anxiety, for things of that, but I can see where it also can be helpful with sleep as well. And it also has capsules, and the capsules are really, the way this system is designed is that you take the capsules during the day. So some people need to take one every day. Some people, like myself, I take it when I have high anxiety days, and then I'll take them then. And then you can use the roller and have it as needed throughout the day, and the oil as well. But again, you can also use it for sleep. And so I know some people that use Adaptive in their diffuser, or Adaptive and lavender in their diffuser. I've even heard of Adaptive and Serenity. I think Adaptive and Serenity would just knock me out for like 2 days. I had those together, but that's just me. Some people, they need, that, and I'm happy to help them find something that's going to support them. Has anybody used anything else that maybe I haven't mentioned yet that helps with sleep?
Copaiba. I find Copaiba helps me, and I will take that one before I take before I take a Serenity, if I want to, a quality sleep, but not a completely out sleep. So.
Yeah. Copaiba is a good one. Copaiba is, to me, is kind of like the frankincense, where it's very effective for lots of different things, and different people can turn to it for different issues. I know people that use Copaiba for emotional support. And then, like Tawana just said, she uses it for sleep. So that's awesome. So, and that's another example of finding what works for you and sticking to it. Okie dokie. Other thing I always touch on in the classes is the LOV, Lifelong Vitality Pack. And it's a system of supplements. And it's going to have the Alpha CRS, which helps with cellular vitality, which is going to help feed and keep the cells themselves happy. It's going to have an omega in it, and it's going to be balanced, because lots of times the supplements are only going to focus on one of the omegas, and this one actually has omega-3 and omega-6s, which we need to have them together for it to be the most effective for our body. And then it also has microplex VMZs. So V and M in there lets you know that's vitamins and minerals. And so these have been created to help fill in holes in our SAD, or standard American diet. And so what's pretty cool is that these are calibrated for our diet here in the States, but if you're in a different country and you ordered the LLV, it would be calibrated for that country's standard diet. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing is that this is actually our #1 selling product because it helps to provide a nutritional foundation. And so even some issues with sleep can be issues with nutritional levels, could be issues with your immune system and your gut. And so these are going to help as well with that. And so sometimes lots of people get started with these and they realize, this is all that they need, because it's helping them at a foundational level to fill in holes in their diet. So these actually provide about 12 servings of fruits and vegetables, which is what a lot of people are lacking in their diet. And so that's why they're so effective. There's anything else, guys, about the LLV? Something else I want to say, but I can't remember now. The serving is actually, I think it's 4 of each a day. I take half that a day, and my husband takes a full dose. It really depends on the person. If you get what you need out of it, you'll figure out your dosage level. Always start low at the low end. Start out with 1 maybe of each a day, and then move up as you feel that you need to. So one of the questions we asked on Wednesday was, doTERRA's #1 selling product is lemon oil, Lifelong Vitality Pack, lavender oil, or rose oil? Everybody knows that. What's the answer?
B.
B. B is. I believe lemon oil is our #1 selling oil, and rose oil will never be, because that is price prohibitive. And I don't think they would have enough product for it to be the #1 selling oil. How many petals does it take to make rose oil? Does anybody remember?
Oh, I don't. A bunch. Like, oh.
It's like it's a bunch.
250. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. That's a bunch, but ridiculous
crazy number, and it's like the 5 ml bottle is what. They
Yeah,
don't even make the big one.
and they have to immediately process it, and they don't.
It's a lot. So the things that affect the price of oils, just FYI, is going to be the amount of plant material it is, and how the level of difficulty it is to procure the actual plant material that it needs. And so for rose, it hits both of those.
Yeah, also the florals.
Yeah. So what's really important is going to really be beneficial and affect your sleep is going to be to establish a sleep routine. So the goal should be to establish a really solid sleep routine. And so how do you do that? So one thing that like I said, we already talked about, is recommending taking your LLV, your Lifelong Vitality Pack. And so you can take 1 to 2 of each with breakfast and lunch. And like Dee Dee said earlier, you don't want to take them before bed. And so Dee Dee said alone, I've done that. I was like, oh, I didn't take my LLV today, so I'm gonna take all of them at once, right before I go to bed. And that didn't work out. And I couldn't sleep either. And I was bouncing off the wall. And so I just got back up and kept doing stuff. But I did learn that day not to take your LLV right before bed. And all of them, not just half of it, but all of them right before bed. The other thing to do when you establish a sleep routine is to prepare for bed about 30 minutes out. So everyone really should have a routine. I know my daughter is really good. She has a better routine than I do. And we always know when it's time for bed, because she comes out with her hair all tied up, and she has her jar to fill up her big diffuser humidifier that she took from me. But I can't even touch it. She won't let me touch it. And she's, doing that. So that's part of her routine. I know, that she's ready for bed when we see those things. But everybody should have a routine. And one of the things you can do is to take your Serenity soft gels, take a bath or shower with your calming oils, whatever oil works for you. That may be Serenity, maybe lavender, adaptive, or peace. I didn't even mention peace earlier. So I have talked to people who like to use the peace oil to help with sleep as well. And Peace actually was one of the BOGOs this week, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
By Peace
so-
Get Balance.
Yeah, Peace and Balance, 2 oils that are awesome to help with your sleep routine. Those are on BOGOs this week. The other thing is make sure you have your aromatic thyme going. And this is one that I tend to forget about. And that is diffusing your calming oils. Spray your pillows or linen and rub your wrist. So I'm good about putting it on my wrist. I tend to spray my bed in the morning when I get up and make the bed. I tend to spray it then. But that's a good thing too, to get into that routine as well. And because that's going to help the air. You know, one of the reasons why it's good to help with the atmosphere or the aromatic part is that you'll benefit from it, but there may be other people in the room that may have some trouble sleeping or snoring or things like that. It might help them as well when you're diffusing the oils. And the other thing is to turn things off, turn off lights, turn off electronics. You may, want to read a little to help you. That makes me sleepy, usually reading, or do a little recap of the day. Try to do a little bit of a brain dump to help you, to keep you from always trying to race through all these different things you need to do. I find that when I write it out, or maybe some people like to put it in their phone or something instead, get those things out of your head so that you can get a good sleep and not stress about them. So that tends to be what's happening, that you're anxious and stressing about things, trying to remember things. So that's a good thing. Obviously, I would probably do that towards the beginning, trying to do that, turning off, getting things out of your head, because it's hard to do those things in the dark. So that's kind of, anybody want to share anything that they do as terms of a sleep routine at night? I told you a little bit of mine. Mine involves making sure the dog goes out before I go to bed, because he'll wake me up in the middle of the night if I don't. Nope. Let's see. Michelle, what do you do for sleep? You're all quiet today. Oh, we got chat.
Oh yeah, make the temp in the house cooler
Yes.
for sure. 68 degrees.
Yeah. That's too cold for me, but yeah.
It's perfect.
Here's the funny thing. I had a teacher in high school, I remember him, and he said that students learn best at, I think it was like something crazy, like 67 degrees. And we're like, man, I am like chattering. But yeah, I can't do it that cold. But yes, lowering the temperature is going to help. Like I said earlier when I said, I woke up mad because I was hot. So, having it nice and cool does help you sleep. Actually, when it's cool, I do tend to go into hibernation mode. So that's a good tip too.
Yep, Erica shared that one.
Thank you, Erica. All right, so what's your status? So I like to ask people this because I don't want people to feel pressured that, what they need to do, but it's good to know where you are in terms of when you're working with one of your oil ladies or oil person. So do you have a wholesale account already? Are you regularly ordering using your wholesale account? And we asked this question because I don't think people realize that when you pay your $35 membership or you get your wholesale account, that account is good for an entire year. And so for that entire year, you're going to get 25% off of retail of everything that doTERRA offers. And doTERRA is notorious for offering new stuff throughout the year. So you're always going to get that. I had one time one person asked me, is this a monthly fee? I was like, no, ma'am, I wouldn't be doing this if every month I had to pay that fee for the whole year. And even when you renew on your anniversary date, mine's in October, it's only $25 and you get a free bottle of peppermint. So that's pretty cool. Or if you're ready to get started, if you haven't gotten started or you're ready to get a wholesale account and you're not sure how to do that, we can help you with that. And if you're not quite ready to get a wholesale account, but you want to talk to someone about the issues that you're dealing with and you want more help, we can talk to you about that as well. So put in the chat what your status is, or you can text it. That's my business number, 346-415-6714. And when you do that, we will get your, I need to fix this. We will get your, you entered into today's drawing. And the drawing is, I've been giving out the wipes, the On Guard wipes, because I think they're super cool and I love them. And a Phoebe Assist Jr. Well, the wipes came out when in convention, maybe was it this year? Was it last year?
I think it was last year. It was either convention or earlier. Sure.
I don't know. Well, I love
Yeah.
them.
Convention.
It was convention.
It
Yeah.
was. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but they
the
still weren't
wipes-
released until a couple months later.
Yeah, they were
'cause
delayed.
when they were telling us about the wellness kits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So the wipes are, who's used them? So the problem was when they were delayed it coming out. And so when they delayed them coming out, I didn't want to use, like I was hoarding them. Look, I wouldn't let anybody in the house touch them or look at my box of wipes. But now we have plenty, so I'm letting people try them. But so they're really good at cleaning the surface. So if you're out, you want to wipe your hands down and you're out. So I like them. I use them a lot to wipe down my phone because I think about when's the last time you actually cleaned that and the surfaces? And I'm like, I don't know. And it goes everywhere I go. So I use these to clean that as well. You can clean off the desk. It's just another way to use the On Guard goodness, and it's portable and you can have them with you. So I do give these out for one of the prize draws when you do that. The people that can help you that are on it are teamed together are Tawana, Monica, Dee Dee, Michelle, Tyra, Alicia, and myself. I think we might have a couple more people coming on soon, which is awesome sauce. But if you need help, you can always contact one of them. You can always text that number. Even if you're not my person, I can get you to the person who is your oil lady. So I know everybody on here, I believe, has their wholesale account, but if you know people that need help or would like to get started as well, we have a couple of options that I'm highlighting right now. The one on the right, the all access one, is actually the BOGO box from this week. And what's really cool about this week is that they are waiving the membership fee, and they're just, and you can get the BOGO box and get a membership as well. This is pretty cool because it has, 13 oils in there, guys?
It's 12, 13, yeah, 13.
There's 13 oils in there.
Mhm.
And some of them are ones we talked about today. Some of them are ones that we've talked about in past classes. It's going to give you a nice assortment of different oils that are very good. I am excited about the blue tansy that was in there. Who uses blue tansy or has? I want to show you something.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay, so
I haven't
I've
used
walked
Blue
around.
Tansy.
Yes, I've walked around with blue fingers like for half the day.
you see that? So yeah, for me, blue tansies, I love the smell, and it's really good for my skin when I have skin issues. So that's why I'm like, the first bottle I had, and it's not like, it's one of the oils that I saved points for to buy. And so the first bottle I had, I went through it like that. So the second bottle I had, I tried to be more careful, more spread it out, but then I wasted it. So I was really not happy. So I'm really happy to get this in the BOGO box. If you know anyone who wants to get started, this is a great option for them to get started. They're going to get a lot of good oils. They're going to get a lot of them at once. But if you know someone that, can't do that investment yet or wants to start slow, the Keep It Simple one, I always offer to people because it has different things that are going to help with different issues in it. It has a deep blue rub, which we know helps with lots of aches and pains. It has lemon, it's good for detoxifying. On Guard, good for immune support. Serenity, it's going to help with sleep like we talked about today, and Adaptive, which can help with sleep or it can help with emotional support. So that's a good one as well. So, and remember, we always have stuff for you when you refer people or host a class. So did anybody have any questions? I know we went through some things with sleep today. I just really wanted to touch on why sleep is important and how you can help by using the oils to get you some better sleep.
You do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Eric wants to know what type of skin issues was it you were using the blue tansy for? Was it your eczema?
Yes, I had two issues. One was eczema. So I went to the urgent care and I didn't know what it was. And it was like covering half my body and it was getting worse, I thought. And so she goes, oh, that's atopic dermatitis, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. She goes, get some, what did she told me to go to the store and get some, wasn't
steroid.
Acetaminoid. Well, that's coming up. That was what's the name of it? Cetaphil?
Aveeno? Oh, Cetaphil, yeah.
Cetaphil. She goes, that one everybody seems to love, blah, blah. When I used that, I wanted to slap that lady because it felt like little daggers stabbing me. And I was like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. So I ended up using the oils. I talked to my mentor, and she told me to use frankincense and ginger as it's the equivalent of getting a steroid shot. And so I started with those, and I started taking that internally. And then I found the blue tansy, frankincense, and the shea butter. Shea butter that Michelle gave me has saved me in terms of the skin. And yes, I put the blue tansy on there. Actually, I put some on the other day. It's amazing. It's like silk. I don't know if anyone's ever used it, anybody else. It's like, it feels like putting silk on the skin. It calms it. And so what I've learned is that the blue tansy helps with histamine as well. It helps to stop that inflammation response and that your skin getting all hyped up. And so that's why I like it.
I did not know what blue tansy was for, but now I'm going to start incorporating it in my skin routine. And in June, I will have some more shea butter for y'all because I'm to Nigeria, so I'm gonna have to bring back some more.
Yes.
And I wanted to say, when you were talking about the wipes, the On Guard wipes. Okay, so we just came back from Jamaica, and they did temperature checks everywhere. They did hand sanitizer everywhere, and they gave you a wipe for your phone. I don't care if you got on the bus, went in the restaurant, wherever.
Really?
They gave you a wipe. One day in the restaurant, I was like, oh, I'm not going to take out my phone. And she looked at me like, yeah, okay. Like, everybody takes out their phone. But they, without fail, they are on it. I mean, so much better than we are here.
Wow. Yeah, we're not on it.
I guess tourism is their livelihood, so they have to be. But
that's true. That's true. Well, that's cool. Huh? Because I forget, but I don't know. And yeah, I love the wipes. What was my other question? That answer the question, Erica?
And making sure that you have a wholesale account.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Making sure you have a wholesale account. How to make sure you have a wholesale account?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not awake yet. So.
I see that. I was like, that's not a question. That's a statement.
Look.
So you make sure the way you have a wholesale account is, it's just simple. You enroll, and we used to do it on paper, but most of it's electronic. And most of the time, actually now, I just send people the links and I let them enter on all their stuff so I don't get it wrong in any way. But you do that, you fill out the little bit of paperwork doTERRA has, and like I said, it's mostly electronic, and then you start with whatever starter, I call them all starter kits that you want. Actually, right now through the end of March, as long as you start with a starter kit that has at least 100 PV, and PV is product points, basically. Every product in doTERRA has PV assigned to it. Most of the time it's going to match the dollar value, but sometimes it doesn't, especially like with the supplements and things, because they're not all oils. It may not be exact match, but everything has product value. So like those two, like these two right here, you see I put the PV underneath it. Excuse me. So right now at the end of March, if you have at least 100 PV with your starter kits, you're going to get another free oil that I can offer you. And it's the Citrus Bliss. And so the Citrus Bliss is really cool because it has all the citrus oils in it. And so it's really good at being a mood elevator. So if you have sad feelings or you struggle with those types of things and you need something to help with mood as well, Citrus Bliss is good for that. But citrus oils are also good for cleaning it as well. So you can make a cleaner out of it too. So you fill out your paperwork, you can get some extra free stuff. And then you'll get an email from doTERRA. You'll get it probably one from whoever your oil person is. I tend to send out an email, and then you just have your account. And you manage the account. It isn't something, I manage or whatever. You don't have to ask Joy to order. You log into your account, you order what you want, they ship it right to you. Now, a lot of us are on the monthly subscription box type deal where every month we'll get something, because as you order, you're going to be earning points based on it. So it's like loyalty program. And so as you do that, eventually you can take those points and then you can turn them and buy products you want. So like, I think I wanted to try something, one of the skin things, and I did that. Sometimes I use it to buy my frankincense to make sure I always have that. So it just depends. And that's kind of in a nutshell what the wholesale account is. Anybody want to add anything? Okay, so that's it. I hope we get better sleep. We learn how to get better sleep because, it can really affect lots of things, not just your mood, but lots of things in your body. And we find natural ways. And so one of the things, I didn't say this earlier, but I'll add it now before we close, is that I was always wondering, okay, what is this melatonin that they're advertising on TV? And I'm like, your body makes melatonin, so that's natural. So what are they selling? So only two sources. They're either going to get it from another animal, melatonin, or it's going to be synthetic. And neither one of those things do I particularly want to add to my body. So that's where those are coming from. And that's why I look to, find ways to help the body do what it naturally does. So I end with this quote. So when you share doTERRA products, you bring hope and wellness to the people you love, your community, and ultimately the world. Telling the doTERRA way is about service. One drop at a time and one person at a time, we are serving the world with wellness solutions. And that's how I feel when I do this, is that I am here to serve people and help bring them health. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to stop the recording and not hit which button did I hit?
Pause. Share remote.
I hit